Good evening. You're watching the main news on HKIBC. I'm Raymond Yeung. Here are tonight's top stories. Theme parks and places of worship reopen as Hong Kong takes another step towards a return to normality. Restaurants do a roaring trade as dine-in hours are extended and table capacity is raised. And Hong Kong's unemployment rate rises to an 8-month high. After more than 3 months, entertainment and sports venues, as well as places of worship, reopened today as the government relaxed anti-COVID restrictions. Disneyland and Ocean Park were among places that welcomed visitors after being shut during the Omicron surge that triggered the 5th wave. Joanna Ho reports.
There was a sigh of relief as many venues finally reopened their doors. They included Ocean Park, places of worship such as temples, cinemas, and government sports facilities. Disneyland also put out the welcoming mat. Nearly 1,000 eager fans waited outside and made a dash as soon as the gates opened.
I'm so happy that because I miss a lot of friends and I miss a lot of shows, rides. I'm so happy to be back here.
Most visitors shrugged off the risk of contracting the virus.
No, we've all caught COVID. I've had 3 vaccines, and he had it, and it wasn't that serious. We all were able to get over it.
There won't be fireworks in the short term to round up a day of fun in the Magic Kingdom, but Disney characters will welcome and pose with visitors. Apart from entertainment, the emphasis is on safety, with all performers meeting vaccination requirements and need not wear a mask during their shows.
The theme park said visitors must adhere to its anti-COVID regulations, such as scanning their vaccine pass when entering restaurants and staying a distance from Disney characters when taking photos. There was good news for those whose Magic Access membership expired between January 7th and April 13th. They can use their pass for 104 more days. Joanna Ho, HKIBC.
Our reporter Joanna Ho is now at a gym in Mong Kok to find out what it's like on the first night of reopening. Joanna, what do you have for us?
Hi Raymond, yes, it's quite busy right now here. Personal trainers can finally teach their own students here again at the gym center as it reopens today. As it's almost 8 p.m., more and more people are coming in as they get off from work. The gym now operates at 50% of its capacity. Let us chat with the owner, Jerry. How do you feel about resuming business today after closure in 5th wave?
I feel very glad but also very frustrated because we lose about 50% of revenue today.
So how have you, as the gym owner and personal trainer, struggled during the 5th wave?
As a gym owner and a personal trainer, actually there's nothing we can do. As the gym owner, we mainly provide rental service for freelance personal trainer. So if the gym locked down, we have no income. But also, as the personal trainer, I can't train my clients. This makes me lose a few of my clients. So I can only hope that the 5th wave ends soon and we can reopen as soon as possible.
Thank you, Jerry. That's all we have for now. Back to you at the studio, Raymond.
Okay, thank you, Joanna. Customers dining in restaurants didn't have to rush home this evening because operating hours have been extended from 6 p.m. to 10 p.m. People queued for a buffet at a Mong Kok hotel in a scene replicated across the city. Staff scanned vaccine records before allowing customers to enter. Tables at this restaurant were fully booked, and diners had to wear masks when piling their plates with food. There were several family groups after the government allowed 4 people instead of 2 to sit at one table. Business was brisk at dim sum restaurants earlier today. More people flocked for morning tea now that the two-person per table limit has been lifted. Macy Mock reports.
This Chinese restaurant in Mongkok was packed this morning as up to 4 people can now sit at a table instead of 2. This woman who brought her grandson to meet her friend said she had not taken the boy to eat in a restaurant for 3 months. But she wouldn't stay too long because she's a bit worried about taking her grandchild outside. Another woman said she felt happier eating in a group. She and her 7 friends occupied 2 tables. Another patron who came with her husband was concerned about getting infected, as she had to share a table with 2 strangers. But a plastic shield dividing them made her feel safer. The restaurant operator estimated business this morning was up by 1/3 from yesterday. But he expects tickings would rise to only 25% of the level before the 5th wave. He hopes the government will further relax social distancing measures and allow up to 6 people per table, and expand capacity for banquets from 20 to 60. Maisie Mock, HKIBC.
Some entertainment venues, such as bars and mahjong parlors, remain closed. Their operators accused the government of suppressing their business and demanded that the venues be reopened soon and be given more subsidies.
For this wave, the government only subsidized around less than 100,000 Hong Kong dollars for all the bars. But just bear in mind that, the suspensions, has been last for 5 months, which is not enough for the operators to operate the business. We appreciate for the help of the government, but we don't want to look like a beggar. Because what the government paid to us is really not equivalent to what we lost. We see no future for us at all.
Some works of art which have a political context are no longer on display in the M+ Museum. Wang Xingwei's New Beijing, which gave a hint of the June 4th crackdown, was replaced with another painting by the same artist when the museum reopened today. Zhou Tiehei's press conference 3rd was also taken down, but works by dissident artist Ai Weiwei are still on display. The West Kowloon Cultural District Authority said the museum has plans to rotate over 200 exhibits, and 9 were changed during the closure. The chairman of the museum's board, Bernard Chan, expressed confidence that there are no legal problems with its art collection. A top health official has denied a report that up to 400,000 recovered COVID patients could not obtain a QR code to enter venues bound by the vaccine pass. Principal Medical and Health Officer Albert Au insisted that records for nearly 1.2 million patients infected in the 5th wave are already online. He urged people to double-check and see if they have entered the correct information. The city today recorded 628 new infections, including 5 teaching staff and 2 students. There were 26 COVID-related deaths. President Xi Jinping has defended China's economic strength during his speech to the Boao Economic Forum. In a failed swipe at Western countries, Xi condemned unilateral sanctions and a Cold War mentality. Sarah Wong reports.
For the 2nd year in a row, President Xi Jinping tuned into the Boao Economic Forum in Hainan Province via video link.
国际社会为应对新冠肺炎疫情挑战
He urged the international community to work together in vaccine distributions and post-COVID economic recovery. To ensure the world's collective safety, China is putting forward a global security initiative that envisions an effective and sustainable security architecture.
大国尤其要做出表率
As a major power, we need to lead by example in equality, cooperation, integrity, and the rule of law, she stressed.
女士们、先生们、朋友们
We should respect the sovereignty and territorial integrity of all countries and resolve disagreements through dialogue. In a subtle show of solidarity with Russia, Xi reiterated China's opposition to unilateral sanctions and the Cold War mentality. He also tried to allay concerns over China's economic strength amid sluggish consumer sentiment and rising unemployment. China's economic resilience, Xi said, will help spur a global revival. Analysts see the remarks as defending the dynamic zero-COVID policy in which stringent lockdowns disrupted economic activity. The financial hub of Shanghai reported 18,500 COVID cases yesterday and 8 more deaths. There was a sharp rise in the number of severely ill patients, indicating that a death toll is likely to climb. Sarah Wong, HKIBC.
Hong Kong's unemployment rate has risen to an 8-month high of 5% as COVID restrictions cost almost 27,000 people their jobs. But the easing of curbs and government subsidies are expected to give battered sectors a shot in the arm. Chloe Fong reports.
Hong Kong's labor market has deteriorated further as social distancing measures began to bite, shutting down many businesses. Unemployment in the 3 months to March rose by half a percentage point to an 8-month high of 5% from 4.5% in the December to February period. Total employment dropped by about 54,000 from about 3.66 million in December to February to 3.61 million in the 3 months to March, as another 26,900 people lost their jobs. That took the unemployment total to 188,500. The retail, accommodation and catering sectors were among the hardest hit. Labor Chief Lau Chi-kwang said the job market is still facing pressure in the near term, but should improve gradually as government subsidies begin to help businesses and anti-epidemic measures are eased. Chloe Fong, HKIBC.
Hong Kong's main stock benchmark fell to a fresh 5-week low today. The Hang Seng Index dropped 1.3% as investors waited for Beijing to indicate fresh directions on policy support. The tech index lost 3.5%, with JD.com retreating by 6.5%. Meituan ended the day almost 5% lower. Mainland oil giant CNOOC lost 2.5% in Hong Kong, but surged as much as 44% on its debut in Shanghai, before closing 27% higher. Now let's take a look at the markets. The Hang Seng ended the day down by 262 points. To the top 10 active stocks, Tencent lost $14, the tracker fund down 24 cents, while Alibaba lost $2.80. CNOOC down 28 cents, while JD.com was down $14.40. To the forex trading against the Hong Kong dollar, the euro's at 8.54, pound sterling 10.22, and the Australian dollar at 5.82. Finally, in Europe, the London FTSE is currently up by 24 points. China is launching a private pension scheme as it faces the challenges of an aging population. Employees can contribute up to 12,000 yuan a year in their personal pension accounts, which can be opened in designated banks and financial institutions. Tax deductions will be offered to encourage people to join. The scheme will be tested in some cities for 1 year before being extended nationwide, with the government adjusting the maximum contribution according to economic conditions. On to the weather now. There will be sunny periods and some showers tomorrow. Temperatures will range between 23 and 29 degrees. Sunny with a few showers over the weekend. Now let's take a look at the weather around the world. That's our main news for Thursday night. Join us for more news at 11. I'm Raymond Yeung. Good evening.